Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Saturday, the 1st of April. And before you say anything, these selections have been well studied. I've been building up to this first day of the flat meeting for quite a while now. I've waited for the heavens to open, and it's going to be really, really tough ground, soft ground at Doncaster. I've been watching the draw, and I may be wrong on the day of the races. However, in years gone by, and the race has gone by, generally it has favoured low numbers in the majority of races. Not always on the round course, but on the straight course, they have normally gone to the far side. So I based all my selections when I've been studying over the last few days on that theory. If high numbers are favoured, it's a losing day. It's that simple. It may even be a losing day if the low numbers are favoured because of the selections I've gone for. But the selections I've gone for are bred to want soft ground, have generally proven form if they've ran before in soft ground or heavy ground, and are well handicapped. It doesn't mean they'll win, it doesn't mean they'll come place, but I really like the look of these horses. I'm being honest, every single one of them, it's like wow, it's one of them feelings that you get. But I have had one of them feelings before where I really fancy the horses and not a single one of them have come plays. That's just a word of warning. However, total stake I believe is round about £55, but that includes the football bet. If you normally place less than that, split the entire day in half, which is around about £27.50, and just split all the stakes on the horses by half. So let me get into it. This is going to be quite confusing, but I'm going to make it as simple as possible. Purely for the fact it may be confusing, it's because how Skybet put the horses in time order. But if you've had 6 horses, if you've had one in the 12 o'clock single, it'll be mentioned first. But if you've had one in the last race, it'll then be put towards the back of the bets, which makes it really difficult to explain. If I type them all up, it takes forever. So I'm going to try and talk you through them. So as you can see they're exactly the same as me. So it's 10 pence each way Hines. 50p each way singles on all of these selections in the Hines bet. That's why I've gone for each way Hines, because I haven't gone for the each way, each way Lucky 63, because it's just another 10 pence each way singles. So I've skipped the singles in the each way Hines, in the each way Lucky 63, and chose a Hines instead. So as I said, 10p each way Hines, 50p each way singles. These are always Skybet because of the extra place races. A 5 pence each way sixfold. That's purely to make it to £25 for this bet. 25 pence each way doubles. So let's get into this bet. So the first selection is No Sinner. I've left the price in the 150 at Doncaster. Unfortunately, they're not paying extra places, but they're kind of doing a money back special, but I'm not interested in that. So unfortunately, it's 3 places. None of the horses have ran before. I've gone for this Bill Turner horse. He has been training horses for this race for literally donkey's years. This horse is bred to be an out-and-out sprinter, and there are lines in the breeding for it to want or handle soft ground at least. It's completely speed bred, and it's drawn low, so I'm definitely interested in this horse. It's around about 25 to 1 and 33 to 1. So yeah, I like the look of that horse. One of the more interesting horses of the day is Mason at SP. Basically, I've left the price in the 225 at Doncaster, paying 7 places instead of 4. This horse is definitely one of the few horses or few fancied horses that has drawn low. It definitely handles soft ground, and I believe it's been to be fair, like a few of them, it's been laid out for this race, but they've got it fit with a recent run on the all-weather. The third selection is Wilderness Girl in the 3 o'clock at Doncaster, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse must improve, but the funny thing is, it was bought. It wasn't bought. It was transferred to the stable of Adrian Nichols just a few days ago, but it wasn't sold by the the owners. So basically, the owners have moved it, and I forget who used to train it before. It was either Hugo Palmer or something like Roger Varian. So it's gone from a big stable to Adrian Nichols. Very interesting, but the owners have kept the horse. This horse, as I say, must improve. It's ridden by Holly Doyle. As I say, once again, it must improve. However, it absolutely thrives on atrocious ground. It was getting towards the back end of last year. It ran a cracker at Longchamp and it was thriving on soft and heavy ground. Well, it's going to get at least soft ground, in my opinion, at Doncaster tomorrow. Drawn, I believe, 2. So it should be on the preferred ground as well. The fourth selection is Baradar. I've left the price in the 3.35 at Doncaster, paying 7 places instead of 3. Out of all the smaller priced horses that I'm going to tip up, this is probably going to be the nap of the day. It's round about 9 to 1. I've been watching George, I don't know if it's George Boffey, George Bowie, for quite a while now, and he can really get his horses ready for the big races. And I'm not just talking like Doncaster, I'm talking group races, I'm talking York. He definitely had quite a few decent runners at big prices at the Epsom Derby meeting. You know that meeting, what was it, 3 days, whatever it is? So he had quite a few runners at decent prices run a place there. Well, this horse is proven to love the ground. It's a course and distance winner, and I think it was only rose. It only rose. Yeah, it has only risen £4 in the handicap, and I think it was rated 110. Although it was that rating was probably wrong as a juvenile, but I do believe it's definitely capable of running a cracker off 97 on soft or heavy ground tomorrow, and it's got a decent draw once again, if the draw is favouring low numbers. The next selection is Straight Outta Compton at SP in the 5.20 at Doncaster, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse ran in this race last year. It didn't run a great race, but there's been so much messing around with this horse. In the last 3 runs, I forget exactly, but it's ran over 5/3 on a mile and a mile and 3. It definitely stays tomorrow's distance of a mile and 2, and it does handle slower ground. I believe it could possibly sneak a place if a lot of the horses underperform. It's currently 66 to 1. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting prize. At that point of the day, you could well be shaky when you're watching the race if it has been favouring low numbers. And finally, A1 Alley in the 5.50 at Doncaster, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse it hasn't run too many times in the last few years, but it was progressing. Well, it's had quite a break, but it did recently reappear at Carlisle. Well, it does want soft ground, at least soft ground, as in like it, or slower. I do believe it is extremely well handicapped, as long as there hasn't been something like majorly wrong with it. But you wouldn't think there was, because it only reappeared, I think it was a month ago at Carlisle, but that was over jumps and it was slow ground again. So it's not a fantastic race, and I do think it's got every chance. It's not a huge price, don't get me wrong, but I think if it's come out the race well at Carlisle and it is of similar level to what it was running at before it had its break, I think it's got every chance. And the Lucinda Russell stable are going very well. So I've explained all the bets. This is where it could get confusing because all the next bets are spread out, and you're going to see a few singles pop up that I've already had. So I mentioned about the doubles. That's the horses above. So if it's fancying low numbers, I've gone for, in 2 of the big races, the Spring Mile and the Lincoln, I've gone for forecast and tricast in both races. So just give me 1 second. Right. So what I've gone for, I believe it to be 25 pence combination forecast and a 10 pence reverse tricast on these 4 horses. So if you're with Sky Bet, you need to scroll down to the forecast and tricast betting. You'll have to put them on separately, but all you do is, as I said, scroll down to the forecast betting, click on it, and you'll see a screen I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it while I'm here. So let's click on it. So this is exactly what you do. So let's scroll down. So this is the regular betting. So keep scrolling down. As you can see, forecast, tricast. Then all you do, you have to place the bets separately. So all you do, you select the horses there. So select. Those are two of the selections. Mason and Dirty Old Town. Scroll further down, add to bet slip, then all you do, put the bet on first as a combination forecast. So 25p. Yep. There's no money in the can because I've placed a bet already. So as you can see, that one comes to £2.40. Then all you do then, once you've placed it, it'll say round about there. Sorry. Oh, you can't. I've just realised you can't see that. Right. Sorry. Right. There we go. Now you can see it. So we've added the selections. 0.25. Yep. So then you press submit, and then once it's placed, you will get a green. Well, you'll get a box there that says reuse selections. Click reuse. Then all you do is click on combination tricast. Change that from 25. I think it should be blank to 10p. Yep. And that'll be your forecast place. So let me just go back to it, just for the ones. Sorry, so this is going to look away now. No dodgy reasons, it's just the fact that I'm going to scroll down quickly. Right. So there you go. So forecasts and tricasts include those. You decide what stakes you want, really, to be honest. So they're all reverse forecast and tricast. Baltimore Boy, Isle of Kai, Mason and Dirty Old Town. So skip that one now. So these are the really fancied horses. If Mason wins or comes placed, well, it then goes on to the other two. So I've had a £1.25 each way Trixie. So that's basically £1.25 each way doubles and a treble. So the first selection is Mason in the 225 at Doncaster, paying 7 places instead of 4. The next selection is Baradar in the 335 at Doncaster, paying 7 places instead of 4. And finally, A1 Ali in the 550 at Doncaster, paying 4 places instead of 3. So let's scroll down now. So that's a bet that I've mentioned already. That's another bet that I've already mentioned. It's the forecast section. Right, this is the football bet now. So I'm going to talk you straight through it. Right, part of the bet is on the next page. But all I'm going to do is, so on the football, the matches are Mansfield versus Crawley, Huddersfield versus Middlesbrough, and Norwich versus Sheffield United. So it's a £6 treble, and it's a £6 over 2.5 gold treble. Then you need to use the same matches again, and it's a £2.75 over 3.5 gold treble, and then use the same matches again, and it's a £1.25 over 4.5 gold treble, the same matches. So as I scroll down again, so there you can see the £6 over 2.5 gold treble. There's the single I've explained already, and this is the final set of forecasts and tricasts. So in the 335, the Lincoln, I've gone for Baradar, Jimi Hendrix, Empire State of Mind, and Yennefer. And that is a 25 pence combination forecast and a 10 pence reverse tricast. The exact same horses. There you can see it again. So as you can see, all the bets are actually placed. That single is part of the original bet. So is that one. So is that one. And that is my my anti-post bet. That's not a bad bet now, is it? That was game over. Well, Sorry, that was virtually up after about the first 10 matches. But anyway, it's been an extremely long video. If you're still listening to this video on 15 minutes, 10 seconds, just put yes in the comment. Yes, I did, Charlie, in the comments. I doubt it. I doubt there's anybody here at this point now. So you can give me a like or a subscribe. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Fingers crossed for the first day of the flat season. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.